Hey, how's it going, guys? Gabriel, Santiago here. So this is the Speaking of Harmony podcast, and this is episode 13. Wow, lucky 13 already. Nice. Thank you so much for the feedback, for the questions. I keep them coming. There's a lot to talk about all the time, and I'm really happy to be sharing some of this stuff with all of you. Right? Before we go into the subject of the day, which will be cool, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe, activate the little bell notification, also hit the like button. It helps a lot with the videos, so hit the like button in the video as well. And this is all my social media stuff. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe to the mailing list, which is also a great way to interact with me and keep updated on what's going on with what I'm doing. A lot of stuff is coming up really soon, so sign up for the mailing list. Video description in the video over here. Also, shout out for everybody who is listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Stitcher as well. All these platforms. Now, thank you so much for the love. Having keep tracking of everything. All the audience has been awesome, off the charts. Thank you so much. If you can leave a review, it would be even greater. It helped me a lot. Thank you so much. All right, the subject of today is, of course, still hashtag voice leading. Right? I'm always with this subject. It really helps a lot in it really helps when you dealing with harmony. If you take care of the voice leading, a lot of stuff just gets super smooth and all that. But we're gonna be addressing something that happens on a chromatic kind of progression. Stuff I talked a few episodes ago. It's not that you can't do chromatic stuff. You should. It's great. Now I'm showing the Matheny, right? It's all parallel, right? And you should do it, right? There's advantages in using both approaches, but you should be taking care of some of this stuff on the voice, the voice department, if you can. We have been covering this subject in so many ways, and today we're going to talk a little bit about as well on some kind of a situation where especially if you play really more intricate, complicated harmony, like jazz stuff, and especially the more contemporary jazz, there's a lot of chromaticism happening in harmonies. Sometimes you have straight up chromatic accords, not right. You have I was playing this thing in the beginning where you have, let's say, just an example, like a descending chromatic minor chord, right? We have just an example, right? A minor, A flat minor, G minor, F sharp minor, F minor, E minor, right? How do we deal with that, right? How do you apply hashtag voice leading on something like that, right? Of course, it presents tremendous challenges, right, for you to try to voice lead everything, especially if you're role I'm a guitarist and there's a piano, or there's not really an obligation or whatever to be dealing with voice leading at that level, if there's a choir singing or whatever. So, but you can have a few things that really help and kind of smooth it out, this sort of chromatic movement, how you introduce voice leading into this, for instance, right? I have a few examples here, few exercises, and I'm gonna be doing that tricky thing of trying to play an audio file from the session. I'm recording this, so bear with me again. All right, there's a few exercises over here, trying to play this and not get caught up with everything, so bear with me here. In this example here, I used a progression, just a minor descending chromatic thing, right? A minor, right? So how do you do with that? You just play chromatically, right? You can, of course, there's nothing wrong with it, but can you introduce a little bit of voice leading, hashtag voice leading, into that? You can, and you should probably, right? So what's the main point I would stress here on this example is that you can deal with that. I'm just pulling the file away from the recording. Man, what a laborious process. Sorry. What I would do is, since let's say I figure out where the movement is going with the harmony, right? This case descending, so we're going A flat, G, right? F sharp, F, E, right? So the chords are moving down, right? So what I try to do is just do the opposite thing along with that. So which means if let's say the bass, which is leading that, right? It's chromatically. I'll try to come up with a voice, you know, the voice thing we're talking about last time. Let's say a top voice, soprano voice, in the very opposite direction. So if the bass is going down, my soprano is going up, right? That's how I will do it. Straight away, that's a great way to introduce voice leading to this whole thing, right? I'll play what I play in the beginning to show that. That's what I did basically. So instead of doing... I did some of these voicings, but look at my soprano voice. That's what I was singing, right? So let me start with this 7. That's what I used. See? I passed by this chord and this line kept going up while the harmony kept going down. You see? So start from here, from G in A minor, right? I did. I even use this voice over here, which I love, by the way. Kind of stretchy, right? So that's one way you can use that. Just try to get some voice in the opposite direction of whatever the line on the bass or whatever the chord is moving, right? If the chord is moving up, you do the opposite. If the chord is moving down, you do the opposite, you go up, right? So I was thinking about that and playing through this thing, and I just kind of like made a little exercise that I have been practicing that really helps. So I figure out that also, you know, one thing that really helps is that, you know, since we're dealing with all this jazz harmony, extended chords and stuff like that, if you use those notes, like, you know, 9th and 11th and all this kind of stuff, you expand, you know, the color, as I said, but you can use that also as your sort of your lie for voice leading, right? Because you see that these chords here are the 7th here, the 9th, 11th, see? 7, 9, then 11th. See? So those extended notes, right, the extensions, they help in the voice leading because you're going up, extending the chord, but then you help to create this sort of opposite, this contrary motion, right? That's what this is basically, right? Is that's what's really happening, right? You have the bass, you have the soprano. This is the main voices, right? Really happening. What happens in the middle is just, you know, I'll be very free with how I'm dealing with this, because this is not like a chorale kind of setting, right? I have more freedom to deal with this chords. But the principle, again, the voice leading, hashtag voice leading principle is this one, right? You see, I'm using contrary motion and doing all this, you know, applying all these devices to get this contrary motions, to give this sense that the harmony is being spread and not kind of following everything in one line direction. So there are different directions going on. You know, that's an example that I can use, right? So here's the exercise I'm gonna attempt to play. So bear with me here. I figure out that if you take, let's say, A minor, if you take the triad, just the regular minor triad here, right? If you start, and here's an important thing that I'm going to cover in later episodes and stuff, is the non-harmonic tones, right? We talk a little about this, but I'm going to be talking about more as we go along on this podcast stuff. But non-harmonic tones, you know, the stuff that's not in the chord, but there's a bunch of them, bunch of names and all this kind of stuff, right? I talk a little bit about the appoggiatura, right? I was talking about the appoggiatura, the diminished appoggiatura, right? that I showed episodes ago. So if you take that particular no harmonic tone, the appoggiatura, right, within the triad, so we have A minor. So if I try an appoggiatura on the 7th and resolving into A, so G, A, right, what you have is that you keep moving up, and then you're always going to find an appoggiatura for the next chromatic chord resolving into a note of the chord, and then so on, so on. That's what I did in this exercise, actually. I'll show you right now. So, I did starting on the 7th, right? Resolve into a note of the chord, right? So that's the 9th of A flat, right? Resolve into the note of the chord. 11th, resolving into the 5th, right? See? And then 7th, resolving into the tonic and the root. 9th, resolving into the minor 3rd. And I can keep going, right? I can resolve the 5th, right? So you see the idea? You have within the triad, if you put appoggiatura leading into notes of the triad, basically, you get this exercise going. So G resolving into A, right? B resolving into C, right? We get into that, and then you have A as a triad, and then you have D going into A. So see, have this movement. So the harmony is moving chromatically and is descending, but my melody is going up, up, up. So I'm sort of taking refuge into the non-harmonic tones to help me create this opposite line, this contrary motion, right? So this is what this exercise is about, right? Let me show you. The first one, let me prepare things over here. So hopefully this will work. All right. The first one, I'll start with the 7th, right? So the exercise actually goes further. So I'm gonna go from A to the octave, so A to A, okay? So I'll go. Then back to A. So just a whole chromatic thing. So I'm gonna be descending chromatically, and the melody that I'm creating on, opposite direction, contrary motion, is gonna be going up, right? Let's see how that works. Hopefully I'll get that. So I record a little piano thing here, and we're gonna hear a click to get us there, right? And then we're gonna start in A minor, going chromatically, like descending chromatically until we got back to A, right? Let's try that. See if it works. All right. Should you hear the click now? And let's try. Check out the voice on the top. 2, 3, 4. See, we arrived at the same A, or the same G rather, that we previously played. We started the exercise. See, we went all the way down chromatically, but the bass was, kept going down, but the melody kept going up, and then you kind of create this spread, and then you have voice leading happening, right? Because you're spreading the voices and they go in contrary motion, which is what we're going for here, right? Now let's try another version of the exercise when I start from the 9th, which means the appoggiatura going A minor, we're going D, C, right? where you're kind of like rounding the triad, right? Right? Let's see where that take us. So starting on B, right? Let's see, we're gonna hear the click again. Let's see what happens now. 2, 3, 4. We arrived at 9th on B as we started. Again, descending chromatically, but then going up on the opposite direction, right? Now let's do the last one, which would be starting on D, resolving into E, right? The 5th of the chord, 11, 4th going to 5th, right? Let's check it out. All right, should hear the click again. Now let's see. Let's go. 2, 3. You see how cool that is? That's a great exercise. So you can try that at home. Just get this, progression, this minor, descending minor, and just start from an appoggiatura of the main triad. In this case, if you're an A minor, you can try different keys, but it's just all chromatic from A back to A, right? So you go G, A, resolving to A. So you start G, A, then A flat, and then, right? You keep that, it's the same sequence. And you can try B, C, right? See what I'm talking about? And then that's the next one will be the 11th going to the 5th. See? It's so cool. You can exercise and then you can really see that just going contrary motion, even on a very, very super on this side of the aisle, like chromatic, descending chromatic, you still can deal with voice leading in a very effective way. And this is an example of how you can start thinking about it, even when you're in a chromatic environment of parallel and stuff like that. Just like looking for, the best scenario where you can either add a voice or have some kind of inner voice where there's voice leading happening, right? So don't forget, #voice leading always, even in a situation like that. So I hope you like this video. Hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel, activate the little bell thing, the notifications. There's all my social media stuff. Don't forget to sign up for the mailing list, and I see you guys on the next episode. Thank you so much.